Have you ever seen someone walk into a room and, without speaking, without even trying, the atmosphere shifts? Conversations pause. Eyes turn. People straighten up as if gravity itself just changed. It's almost unsettling how some individuals radiate a kind of silent power, a presence that doesn't ask for attention, but naturally commands it. If you've ever wondered why certain people feel magnetic the moment they appear, and why others fade into the background, then stay right here, because what you're about to hear may completely change the way you carry yourself for the rest of your life. And before we dive deeper into the psychology behind this invisible power, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because every week we explore the kind of mindset upgrades and self-mastery tools that schools never teach. The kind that quietly transform your life from the inside out. There's a strange moment we've all experienced, though we rarely talk about it. You're in a room, maybe waiting for a meeting to start, maybe sitting quietly in a cafe, maybe scrolling through your phone on a train, when suddenly someone walks in, and without saying a single word, without even trying, the entire atmosphere shifts. You feel it before you understand it. Something about them radiates presence, confidence, clarity. It's not loud, and it's not arrogant. It's something deeper, something energetic, almost like gravity. Some people, for reasons that seem mysterious and unfair, can change a room simply by entering it. They carry a power that doesn't need to be spoken. And in that moment you wonder, consciously or not, why does that person feel so different? Most people assume presence is an accident, a gift you're either born with or doomed to live without. But what if that isn't true? What if the reason some people feel powerful the moment they walk in is because they've cultivated habits and internal shifts that the rest of us were never taught? What if presence is not a talent, but a skill? The truth is, real presence starts long before someone steps into a room. It begins in the quiet spaces, the moments when no one is watching, the way someone breathes, the way they pay attention, the way their mind organizes itself. Power is not built in public. It's built in silence. And the people who radiate that invisible force aren't doing something magical. They are doing something intentional. Think back to someone you deeply admired, maybe a teacher, a leader, a friend, a stranger who seemed completely at ease in their own skin. They didn't rush. They didn't fidget. Their energy didn't leak out in nervous habits or overthinking. They carried themselves like they were anchored to the ground, as if their thoughts, emotions, and attention were aligned instead of scattered. That alignment is the hidden key. When a mind is clean, the presence becomes heavy. When the mind is chaotic, the presence becomes light, almost invisible. We live in a world where most people are mentally fragmented. Their thoughts jump from one notification to another. Their attention is pulled in 100 directions. Their emotions react before their thoughts can catch up. Their identity shifts depending on who is in the room. This fragmentation creates a kind of psychic noise, the kind you can feel even if you don't consciously notice it. And when someone with that noise walks into a space, you feel their tension, their insecurity, their unresolved energy. But when someone walks in with a quiet mind, a centered posture, and a stable emotional field, it hits differently. It feels like order in a world full of noise. The paradox is that the quieter someone is on the inside, the louder their presence feels on the outside. Imagine two people entering a room. One is filled with internal chatter. Do I look okay? What will they think of me? Did I say the right thing earlier? Am I enough? Their presence collapses inward. They shrink into themselves. They become guarded, reactive, almost invisible. The other person enters with no such noise. Their attention rests calmly on the environment instead of being trapped inside their head. They're not trying to impress. They're not trying to hide. They're simply there, fully present, fully conscious, fully grounded, and without even trying, everyone feels them. Presence isn't about ego. It's about awareness. Some people practice this without knowing it. They breathe slower. They observe before reacting. They make eye contact that isn't aggressive but steady, patient. They don't rush to fill silence because they're not afraid of it. They stand like they belong, not because they think they're superior, but because they aren't shrinking from themselves. They occupy the exact amount of space they are meant to occupy. No more and no less. And here's the part people rarely understand. Presence is not about dominance. It's about coherence. Dominance is loud. Coherence is quiet. Dominance is forceful. Coherence is steady. Dominance wants attention. Presence earns it. The people who feel powerful when they walk into a room are not trying to be powerful at all. They've simply removed what blocks their natural state. Fear, self-doubt, tension, fragmented attention. When those fall away, what remains is something extremely rare, a human being who is actually here. Most people don't realize that presence is deeply biological. Your nervous system responds to someone whose nervous system is regulated. Your brain senses it. You feel calmer around them. You feel more grounded, more attentive. Their energy stabilizes yours. This is why charismatic people aren't just interesting, they're soothing, almost addictive to be around. Their coherence pulls your chaotic nervous system into harmony, and you instinctively want more of that feeling. But here's the secret most people never hear. You can build this. Presence is trainable. Charisma is trainable. That magnetic energy people call aura is not some mystical accident. It's the natural glow of a regulated, disciplined, self-aware mind. Every time you slow your breathing instead of reacting impulsively, you build presence. Every time you pause before speaking, letting your words gather weight instead of rushing out, you build presence. Every time you allow silence to exist without needing to fill it, you build presence. Every time you resist the urge to check your phone, scroll endlessly, or escape into distraction, you build presence. Every time you walk into a room without shrinking your posture or your voice, you build presence. And the more presence you build privately, the more radiance others feel publicly. People think charisma is performance, but real charisma is simply self-command. The person who feels powerful when they walk in isn't pretending to be something special. They have simply removed everything that blurs their natural identity. They walk like someone who knows their worth, not because they're trying to convince others, but because they've stopped unconsciously arguing against themselves. The truth is, you already have this power in you. It's not something you chase. It's something you polish, something you uncover, something you let emerge. When you quiet the noise inside, the world begins to feel your presence. When you stop trying so hard to be impressive, you become unforgettable. Because the most powerful people don't walk into a room and announce themselves. The room notices anyway. And if you choose, starting today, to slow down, breathe deeper, listen fully, observe quietly, speak intentionally, and carry yourself with a calm spine and clear mind, then someday soon you'll walk into a room and someone else will feel it. Someone else will pause. Someone else will be quietly pulled into your gravity. They won't know exactly why, but they will feel what you now understand. Power isn't something you show, it's something you radiate, and that radiance begins the moment you decide to stop shrinking from yourself. If you've made it this far, then something inside you is already shifting. Presence isn't about being loud. It isn't about being perfect. It's about alignment, clarity, inner gravity. And once you begin strengthening that, people won't just see the difference. They'll feel it. So if this video moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And remember, real power doesn't come from being noticed. It comes from being unforgettable. Until next time, stay aware, stay grounded, and keep rising.